Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is here in but a week or two, and they decided just before launch to announce something absolutely insane. Okay, before we start today's video, I have a genuine question. It's TDU related. It's not a sponsor. Did you play the most recent beta? It ended on what, Friday? Which I think is a little bit weird. Surely you want to test it on the weekend. Either way, did you play the beta? And did you play the previous beta before that? I'm curious. Both. So they dropped this video where they explained a few important things and showed us pretty much the entire roadmap for the foreseeable future of this game. It's not something I was expecting before the launch of the game for them to promise certain aspects and things. So they spoke about what's available at launch, which is the main focus is going to be the Solar Crown kind of ranking system that's available in the game as of now. By the way, that's a really cool shirt. Can you send me one? Now, they announced that they're adding a Solar Pass. I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. Of all systems they could have come up with, this was a little bit of a punch in the gut, if I'm totally honest. Now, they did say initially these are going to be free. That doesn't mean it's going to be the case forever. I think there's so many better ways to implement. The crew dropped this system. Need for Speed only does it because it's the only system they built. They themselves probably won't continue to use it. For Test Drive to build this system is a little strange. But straight after, they announced a return to Ibiza? What? Ibiza returning to Test? Are you kidding me? Just out of nowhere. And it's coming this year. Like, hold on. What do you mean? Now, it is absolutely worth noting, it wasn't made 100% clear, but it's part of Ibiza, but we will be returning to Ibiza from next year, and we'll have access to an area of Ibiza. However, they're likely going to expand. But the fact that what? I can't comprehend the fact that they've announced before the launch of the game that they're bringing back Ibiza. This is amazing. This is something I didn't ever expect in the scope of the game. I just assumed this was where we're staying, in Hong Kong Island. Like, don't get me wrong. I love this. This is incredible. This is unexpected. However, I would have been personally really happy with them expanding kind of near the area they are, and then in the future going back to whatever. Thank you. They actually gave us a look at them building the location. It's so bright, sunny, beautiful. They even gave us a driving around, like, look at the vibe instantly. Just feels like the test drive I feel Test Drive in my bones looking at this. Not to say I am not excited about Hong Kong Island. Again, I am, but this is just, I think this is fully a response from, like, them seeing what the crew is doing and them going, we're going to do it straight away. They almost hit the wall there. Don't even pretend. Just look at it. It feels like home. It's welcoming. All right, I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to that. This year we're going to Ibiza, boys. What the frick? However, that wasn't it. They did speak about many things. So next up is the second major update coming to the game, which I'm going to be honest is incredibly weak, but considering we get Ibiza before, I'm really going to complain about that. They're talking about igniting a clan war, so new Solar Pass and new competitive content. Yeah, I mean, fine. They're really pushing this competitive kind of focus. And to be honest with you, like, to be completely honest, as much as we praise the crew for doing a really good job with its updates, they do a cracking job. They themselves made the same mistake of trying to focus too heavily in one direction. Even with the Crew Motorfest, I feel it's focusing too heavily on the one mode that everyone plays because everything else is kind of lacking. Like, we've got to see this here. This is an incredible rivalry between Test Drive and the crew. This is something that's been bubbling for years because, in case you didn't know, the directors and creators of both of these games, they're both from Test Drive. There's a history, there's a story, there's a friendly, hopefully, rivalry between them. And I am extremely excited to see how this plays out. Test Drive versus the crew. They needed this. French studios battling it out. No one hates the French more than the French themselves. It was kind of hard to get an idea of what this exact update is going to be. It shows that there's going to be new locations unlocked and blah, 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 etc., etc. But they just showed footage from previous trailers. It doesn't quite give us anything new and concrete, just more competitiveness. Moving on to the third major update. And this is where we get a little bit exciting. So the updates are every 3 months. So this is what, like nine months time? We are going back to the casino. Now I have lots of questions lots of questions when it comes to the casino because of the fact that you may have seen in the trailers for this game for a very long time at launch, for the first 2 CGI trailers we got, they showed the casino as being a highlight focus of the game. And that's rather interesting to me. Now, I wonder why this has taken so long, or it was put on the back burner, to the fact that they're adding Ibiza before they're adding the casino, when Ibiza wasn't shown in the trailers, right? Like, this is almost going to be a throwback, but the stupid 2-car thing. Who is supposed to be the street and who is supposed to be the sharp in the Range Rover and the I'm guessing the Range Rover is supposed to be the I don't actually know who's who, but in these trailers they demonstrated a lot of casinoing and a lot of, well, the location kind of theme. They go on to this section of the trailer that they literally just showed again, where they're focusing on the casino. They're showing the poker chips, the cards on the table, betting your pissing cards, for God's sake. That was a cool shot. Very CGI trailer. I really don't know why we keep coming out with these. No one ain't fooled now. Come on. Don't Watch Dogs us. Bruh. To be fair, the game actually might look better than these CGI trailers did. Just the resolution is like 360p, it feels. But as I was saying, it's something I expected earlier, but nonetheless, I'm excited about it, that's for sure. I'm looking forward to giving this a go. I'm curious as to the full details of it. They gave us slight details that you will be able to win cars because it's test drive unlimited, but also there's going to be slot machines and betting and I remember test drive there being such a really significant part of the game, and I'm really happy it's returning. Just a little bit disappointed how long it's going to take. I feel like so far, if I'm completely honest, this game from go, I'm going to play it for a bit. And I think it's going to be one of those games that just needs to cook a little bit longer, but I get releasing it as soon as. I do think, however, the houses or the casino and or the casino should be kind of there from go. But I'm going to play it because I'm looking forward to the aspects that are there already. I'm hoping, and it's pretty obvious, there's going to be some type of monetization in the game. Now, them having a casino would initially make me think, because of Europe and Europe being very aggressive on like gambling and stuff like that, especially in games, it's probably not going to be microtransactions to buy money. There is the pass, the solar pass they keep talking about, and I think that's the monetization model they're going to go for. If I'm honest, what I would really like to see is classic DLC packs kind of return for this game. They could possibly try it and add in cars potentially as paid. Hear me out. I get that that's a dirty word these days, but if it meant that there was no other forms of these microtransactions and the solar passes, I'm not gonna bother with a speed pass, solar pass, car, whatever. In every game, it's just draining. Every game is trying to demand my attention, but if you're all doing the same thing, I'm just going to pick the one I enjoy playing the most overall, and that pass is not going to make me keep playing unless I am like crazy dedicated into the game. And I feel, as I say, Test Drive's not going to be one of those games for a while. I think it could get there, and I'm excited to see how this game evolves, considering they're adding a pissing island update for their first update in 3 months' time. That's kind of mental. But anyway, just thinking about the casino, I think we're safe there. I'm still kind of surprised that you can buy money in GTA and it has a casino. Like, how was this allowed? Obviously, Rockstar has some big boy lawyers. We know this. This is not news to us. There's also another couple of really cool points in this video that they mentioned stuff about houses.
Yes, we know that real estate is something highly demanded by the community.
Yeah.
It was something present in TDU2,
and
where you could buy houses, apartments, and even yachts within the game and own your own property.
Yes.
In Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown, you have your hotel room, but it's not really your property. This is something players loved in TDU2, so it's something that requires serious consideration.
Fair.
I don't think we should just repeat what was done in TDU2, because in the end we all had our house, but we didn't share it much because everyone started in their own house and then went free riding.
Okay.
It was a bit of a solo experience, even though it was very cool. It's still a concept we need to evolve, but of course it's something that marked TDU's history.
So you're doing it?
And we're definitely going to work on this for the future of Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown.
There we go. That made me extremely happy. So they are confirmed they're doing houses. They publicly confirmed it. They've kind of hinted at this kind of situation before in blogs and stuff, but seeing it in not only writing, but also the main man making the game talking about that they are going to explore it. So that tells me that it's going to take at least a year plus before we see houses in the game, which gives me confidence that they are going to support this game longer term. But I do fully understand the thought process of it. The Solar Hotel is a hub, so when you start the game, everyone's in one location, and I get that the crew tried to do something similar, but it doesn't really work very well, in my opinion. I think Test Drive had those hubs with dealerships. It had those hubs with the shops being separate, and then they just kind of squished it into one. And I get it. I get why this was done this way. However, houses, that's just the next step of feeling rich. If you want us to feel rich, and then do that. Then do the shops, the dealerships, which you already have. Then do the clothes shops. These are places we'll interact. Think maybe extensions from that, just like TDU2. There should be a club system. So like, for example, I could set up a club and then all of us could spawn at the clubhouse if we want to. It doesn't just have to be houses, you know. What's the next one?
There are many topics that pop up for Test Drive Unlimited.
Oh, it's already saying it on screen.
Like motorcycles, which were in the previous TDU games. At KT Racing, we have experience with motorcycle games. We know how to make road bikes. And we know how to make motocross bikes. So, obviously, we want to bring them to Hong Kong. That's a given.
There you go.
This is pretty big content here, and it will come in the following seasons. But there are also a lot of improvements we'll be making before that. For example, from the demo feedback, we've noticed issues with steering wheel management from the cockpit view,
Why did that
such
look,
as filtering issues
so
and the
better. What the
rotation
hell? They
angles
showed it?
not matching those of a physical steering wheel.
That looks so much better.
That's a shame.
It is a shame.
But these updates will come very quickly within the first year on TDU. We won't wait for year 2 or 3 to fix this.
Let's go! Thank God for that. That was a little bit weird. So, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The support looks really good. If anything, this might be some incredible support based on what they've laid out, and we'll have to, you know, see. And I do think it's actually worth noting, I got my collector's box. I bought it without the game. Buy games digitally. And I buy them physically if they work offline. I like to have multiple copies. You know those games in the back there? Those are games. Some of them the crew. Anyway, I wanted to kind of show you what's in the box because it's pretty cool. I don't normally buy collector's boxes, but like for something special like the return of Test Drive Unlimited, I thought this was a really cool box. The Porsche 918. God, I'm a Porsche guy now. Anyway, the 918 is pretty cool. It's a little model in the doors. Open. Yep. Porsche 918. That's probably the best bit. I think it's pretty cool. Got a little Test Drive Solar Crown keychain. That's nice. Just to be clear, I paid my own money for this. They did not send me it. Test Drive cufflinks. You look like a right nut. This I wasn't expecting. A printed map. I mean, I could have just read what you get with it, but a printed map. Unfortunately, the quality is, yeah. I mean, to be fair, on camera, it looks all right. It's not bad, that. It'll do. The only thing about maps, I love getting maps for games, but like, they're creased. I don't want them to be... Why do they have to come folded up? Roll them in a tube. I still got my San Andreas map somewhere from like the PS2, and the best piece of it, the Test Drive Solar Crown Steelbook. Yes, again, I have a Steelbook case and no game. I will buy it physically, again, maybe multiple times, if they make it offline. They didn't mention that at all. That is something to keep remembering. I'm sorry to keep dropping that, but genuinely, it is all well and good adding all these things. But if we never get to play them again, say that enough people don't buy the game, it's fine. TDU2 sales weren't that great either. It's a little bit worried. It's a little bit... I'm excited, though. Are you excited? Does this change things for you? Are you more excited than you were before? Are you less? Do you hate this? Questions. And remember, let me know if you played the beta and both of them, because I'm like kind of curious. Did you play both, or did you not bother with the second one? I am bothered with the second one. It's coming out next week. I mean, kinda.